Hello and good morning. Welcome to this webinar on the migration to Play, or your amazing journey, your migration to Play from Legacy. A few things that I'll be running through. If you have any questions at all, please put them in the chat. I have the whole UK team sitting there waiting to answer, and then I can also address them at the end as well, should you have any burning questions. So yeah, let's get started. As you can see, your migration journey starts here. So this webinar, I'll just give a brief introduction about what it's going to be and the goals, what I'm hoping that you will come away from this webinar with. So over the last, well, quite a period of time now, myself and colleagues have been working on a migration plan. And this is to put your mind at ease, show you the process, and just get you thinking about the different ways that you might be having to change and how you work. And just that this is going to be fun. You know, it's it's Play's been coming for a long time, as you're all aware, and it is taking us some time to build it, but we're at a really good place now with so many good functionalities and features in Play, and just so much more like streamlining of processes. So yeah, just again, when we're talking about like the benefits and improvements to Play and why we're migrating you from Legacy over to Play, is this whole next level that you hear Thomas harping on about all the time. And it's just to show you that, you know, there are new possibilities and solutions, the new concepts and features which we have in the playbook. For some reason, my screen has just gone back, and this is PowerPoint on a Mac. As I always say, I'm not a Mac person, so sorry about that. We have the playbook, which you can have access to, which we will send out in a link to you if you haven't already got that. And that will go through some of the new concepts and the new way of thinking things. And just bear with me 1 second while I get Lee to just come over here and help me to stop this PowerPoint. Keep moving over. Bear with me 1 second. He's my technical support. You probably can't see him because he's hidden down below. But I don't understand why this keeps moving. Oh, it's on a timer. There we go. Now I need to just figure out how to just ping you back to myself a second. Lee's just down here. He's just getting rid of this for me. Sorry about this. Who'd have thought that we work in IT? Lucky we don't have to deal with this on a daily basis. Can we just change that? Just ramp it up. Okay. Right, we're going to try again then. Yep. Oh, there we go. That's it. Sorry about this. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Right, we're just going to go back. As they say, it'll be all right on the night. Well, I'm glad it's not the evening and it's still the morning. Right, we're going to try again now. Sorry about that. Back to the next level. So as I was saying, we want you to know that, you know, your migration to Play is an upgrade from Legacy. Talking about the next level, and again, sorry, I'll just recap over the possibilities and solutions. The playbook that we have, which you can have access to, which goes through quite a lot of the concepts and why we've decided to do things separately. And it's a really good read, and will answer quite a lot of questions as well. And if you do have any questions with regards to that, you can just hit us up at support or send us an email, and we can have a chat with you through it. So moving over in your migration, we are planning this with you as well. And we're going to manage your expectations as we're going through it, and the training and setup as well, which I will talk about later on in this presentation. So the first step is the contract and discovery, your migration and onboarding offer. So before Christmas, Thomas will get in touch with you to discuss your new contracts. He will finalize your new contract with you, with your account manager, and obviously for the UK, that is Thomas. And then we also will be sending out a feature questionnaire so that we can tailor your migration plan. And what this is, in the UK, you did receive this a couple of years ago, and we're very grateful for those that did complete it because it helped us in building our pipeline to actually develop Play. What were the necessities that needed to be there for certain services to move across? And also, it will help us tailor your migration plan and fit you into our pipeline as well, because there are still some things that haven't been built. So we need to make sure that when we move you across, we know that you can actually hit the ground running and you're not waiting on any development. Or it could be that it's in the pipeline for 3 months, as an example, and you can wait 3 months to have that functionality feature back. So we will send you a questionnaire to ask you to complete that. Once you have completed that questionnaire, you'll send that back to us, and then I will build you a custom migration plan. So as you can see on the right hand side here, we actually do have it available. It's built already and it will be tailored for each of your own. If you just bear with me for just 1 second. I don't know. So sorry about that. So basically your custom planner will show you all the different things that you need to do. I'm just going to try and get that up. So if I just bring you back over to me for 1 second, I'm just going to log into Chrome and get that up so I can show you, because it's a work in progress. It's not a work in progress, it's a finalized plan. Let me just get that up. Here we go. Put my screen back on for you to see. So this is what our migration planner actually looks like. So on the left here, we have important dates and information. So this is something that we will discuss with you at kickoff as well. So where we've got the kickoff meeting, we will confirm, plan and schedule all the training that needs to happen. And we'll also align the goals, timelines and success metrics. So in here on the left, we'll be needing to know, like, are there any specific development requests or specific features that you actually need? So we make a point of noticing that when you need to do your first invoice run, teacher training, when we're going to migrate the data and you go in live in Play, just things like that. And then what we've done here, as you can see, is everything's broken down into different sections. So there's some things to do before you start your migration. One of the main things is check that every student has a payer. So in Play, one of the new concepts is that every student needs to have a payer. Whether that be a parent or a school. We don't just allow student accounts just to float around on their own. Even if a student is an adult, they still need to have an adult payer account, which will manage all the finance side of it. So that's one thing to check. And there is actually a global list in Legacy already for that you would be able to find, where you can just go through. I think it's literally called Students Without Payers in one of the list libraries. So you can just go through that and make sure everyone does have a payer, or get rid of the students if you don't need them anymore. And then the other one is to go through and look at the possible duplicates, student and guardian profiles, and do all the merging of that in Legacy before we move over. Then we have it that you'll look at your schools and terms. So that's the first training session that we'll do with yourselves. And as you can see here, we've tried to tag everything. Blue is things that are new in Play. So they're the new concepts and ideas that we have a little chat about, and the playbook will help you a lot with this. The green tagged ones are the ones that where things move across from Legacy. So your academic teaching plans, if you're moving halfway through the year, That will already move over into legacy. It's not something that you'll have to do again. And the same with your school types. But holiday planning doesn't. And new in play are districts and school categories. So it just makes it easier to do reporting. It could be like, we have a service like Kent Music that actually works in different areas as well. You have like Ashford, Maidstone, Tunbridge and Moorland, and then they want to be able to report, and parents would search looking at those districts as well. And school categories is another thing. That's the first training session. The second one would be on finance. So again, your upper charge categories move across, your ledger codes move across, but your rates, tuition fees and discount schemes don't. And that's because we have changed the way in which the tuition fees work. So we have the same way that you currently do it in legacy, where you're able to use charge rates with the last full price date, that sort of thing. But we have the new concepts now of where you're actually able to charge per lesson, because with Play, you book the student into a lesson and the system can automatically see, right, well, there's only 4 left for this term. We're just going to charge the 4, and then it will go up to 10 for the next term and 10 for the next term. And we have the school billing as well, which is hourly rates, and we have instrument hire charges as well. So there's 4 different ways in which the tuition fees can work, which I believe are detailed in the playbook as well. And then we have the discount schemes. They do work the same, the actual discount schemes. They just need to be reset up because your tuition fees are new and starting from scratch. And one of the brand new features for the finance is the automatic debt chasing. And it is just brilliant because you basically will just set parameters. If it's 5 days overdue, or even the day that the invoices are due and they haven't been paid, an automatic email can go out. And then you can say, well, in 5 days time, they need to move into like step 2 or stage 2. And then they get a second email of your choice. It's all done by your own email templates. So that's actually a pretty cool thing if you're not using direct debits, which is also coming very, very soon. The third meeting would be on courses. So courses have changed slightly, that you don't need course types anymore, which is quite handy. It's one less step. So we're now using the tuition fees, because 9 times out of 10, you would have created a 20-minute individual tuition fee and then a 20-minute individual course type. So it's kind of like, what is the point? So we have got rid of course types. So we will be creating your new courses. We then need you to build your ensembles again because they don't move across. And then you have the course mapping. So what the course mapping does is you're able to say, right, this is what they looked like in legacy. So if I just try and find one to show you in here, it's in settings. So you build all your courses first. And then we have this course mapping area where on the left-hand side here, it will have all your legacy courses. And then on the right-hand side is you pick what the new course is called in Play. So this is basically our center 3 in a group. I would just pretend that that says 3 in a group. I would just choose this. So once you complete all of this, you can do that whenever and save. You then tell us when you're actually ready to go live in the system to convert the students from legacy into Play. And once we do that, there's no going back. You can go back into legacy, obviously, and look at history and finance history and that sort of thing. But no more amendments can happen in legacy. They all then need to happen in Play. The registration fields move across. We have the new functionality of being able to add ability levels as well. But the one thing with ability levels, if you do choose to use them, is that you have to use them on every booking. So it could be that you don't always want to do that. So that's something to consider. And tuition areas, again, these are just filters on the registration page for parents to use. So we will discuss this more, and again is in the playbook. And your department and categories move across. So it's quite, you might look at this and think, oh my God, look at how many things that are on there. But the nice thing about doing it in a planner, and I will always show you the planner at the beginning of every meeting, is that once it's done, you tick it off and you see your progress just happening, your completed tasks, and you're able to see it in a chart as well. And it starts to show you like how many tasks are left and things like that. So it's actually quite nice to be able to see your journey, because by the end of it, all of these will be shut and there'll be nothing there, and you will be fully migrated into SpeedAdmin Play. Once we have gone through your planner and we start, how we envision it is that you get 4 weeks of training. So there'll be 4 one-hour sessions focused on the key system areas, which I just shown: school and terms, finance, courses, and the registration page, and then ad hoc stuff. And this will be delivered on a week basis. So one a week for 4 weeks. to support gradual learning, because we don't want to overload you straight away with like, right, well, we're just going to do it all in 1 week. You can. Lee and I actually did a migration on our test database in preparation for this in 1 day, but that's because we don't have loads of courses. We have about 20, and tuition fees, we don't have that many. But if you're able to like just take the time out, put some headphones on and just build courses, build tuition fees, and not have to do the day-to-day work for a little bit, you probably could actually get this done quite quickly. But ideally, we don't want to rush you in moving across. The plan as well is to have guides and mini videos in the little task parts as well. So again, when we've had our training session, they will always be recorded, and you've then got those to go back on to be able to see, and you will also be able to talk with us in a Teams chat. So what we also then guarantee is that once we've done those 4 weeks of training, we then get an hour and a half meeting with us to do a system walkthrough. So it will be an end-to-end demo to do like the student administration. How do you start a student on a booking? How do you stop a student? How do you invoice? How do you, do charge adjustments and things like that? Where we then have a live Q&A, which is you guys just asking us questions in your last one-to-one meeting with us. And then you do have access to guides and tutorials. We also are offering this hypercare support. So from the first day of when you're going to take like that week that we're going to start your actual implementation or migration, sorry, you will get 12 weeks of direct access to us via a Teams channel. So it will be myself, Lee, and Lauren, all part of this Teams channel. So if you're building your courses or what have you, and you think, oh, I forgot that part, you can just message us and one of us will pick it up and come back to you to say, oh, you just need to do this. And then once we have done this last hour and a half system walkthrough, then you will still have 6 weeks of direct access to us via this Microsoft Teams chat. Once that 6 weeks has finished, we will then ask you to move back into support, because we need to obviously monitor the amount of work that's coming in. But we just want to make sure that you guys know that you're not on your own to do this. We're really invested in this. And like I said, we've spent quite a long time trying to make sure that this migration plan works. I mean, I used it over the summer with 3 other music services, and I think it went quite well, and they were quite positive about it as well. Well, that's that for the minute. I just wanted to flip across really over into the system just a little bit to show you around in some of the things with regards to like tuition fees, where they're going to be. So as you can see, our settings has changed. It's not how legacy was. And so you'll do quite a few things, you'll do quite a lot of the things in here. So what we tried to do as well with the migration plan is it's actually built in these 4. This is not in the same order as my migration plan, but because I couldn't change that, unfortunately. But we have the school and term is all down here. So everything for that first part that you have here is all done within this bit here. And then finance is all done within this bit. Courses is all done with here, and registration. So it is, I like to say it's quite straightforward. How clean play is compared to legacy, like just visually as well, like it makes more sense. Like when you're building a course, as an example, I don't want to go too much into the depth right now, but it's quite, we have the course information, and even though it says course types here, it isn't really course types. But if I just was to create one, it will automatically do the public name. But again, like in the UK, it might be that you have public name is piano, but internal is MC for music center. And then you're able to choose your different categories and then your tuition type. So this is what appears on the registration page. So this is going to be keys. Your teaching plan, so you have your different calendars like normal, standard music center, county groups, summer school, and your registration fields stay the same. They move across. So again, the other thing is as well is just have a think about how you're currently doing things right now. Is there a better way that you could be doing it? Could we make your life easier for you? Play the piano. So again, this is pretty much the same as how it works before. And then in here, you just insert and you find your tuition fees. And so as an example, if it is like an ensemble, you would tick group activity, but we're not doing that. You just say that it's ongoing. This is something that is always going to happen until they decide that they're going to stop. It's always going to be 20 minutes. And you can put on a lesson and ensemble discount if you want, but I don't want to. So you would just carry on in here, just add in more if you needed to, like so. This is ongoing, and this is 30, and save. One of the good things that we've got now as well is we actually have the option of I'll just go back a second. When you create a course, pretty sure, maybe I'm misaligned, but there was a way to copy courses as well. Oh yeah, here we have a copy button as well. So if you have a bass guitar in a school and then you have a bass guitar in the music center, if I just press that and it pre-populated everything apart from the public name and internal name. So that saves time as well, that you could actually go in and say, well, this is bass guitar. And then if I just do MC, just take it out of there. And then we do next. See, it already has the tuition fees attached to it as well. So unless obviously you have different prices for your different music centers and in-school lessons, it's that quick to create a course. So, I mean, I can't see the chat at the moment, but Lee, are there any actual questions in the chat at all for us? No, none. Well, I mean, that's really good that there's quite a few people watching this as well. And I'm really sorry about the technical problem at the beginning. I just need to get better at doing this and probably do weekly webinars just to get on top of how to use a Mac. But like I said, we're here to support you guys. We want to make sure that this is a success for everyone. And we're really passionate about this. You know, we've done so many webinars now recently, and our newsletter that goes out as well. It's really important that you do try and look at the newsletter to see anything. The release notes you're able to see as well, you know, changes that we are making in play. And like I mentioned, we've done quite a few big things already with like the automatic debt chasing. The direct debits is at that point of nearly being done, just a few little tweaks. Just a quick touch on that as well. If you are looking to do direct debits, we are offering it through the Stripe platform. So you could already have an existing Stripe account that we can actually connect up to, or you can create a new Stripe account, which is connected to us as well, which is quite straightforward. We do have a question from Dawn. She said, training needs to be for different people. Is it delivered in-house or online? It's actually delivered online. So again, depending on what it is, like teacher training as an example, we're going to have loads of videos for the teachers, and it could be one of the things we're thinking about is like every action that a teacher could do is like make a mini video of it, and then you could actually build your own videos by pulling in these clips to create a video which you can then send out to your teachers, because everyone does do things differently. Liz, you've asked what are the timelines? What do you mean by timelines? Sorry. In the grand scheme of things, or your timeline? Because basically, like I mentioned, that questionnaire that we're going to send out to you is going to give us a rough idea of when you could actually move over, depending on what is a necessity for your business to be able to run, if it's in play or if it isn't. So Thomas and I have already gone through all of our UK clients and given them our own internal prioritization depending on what is needed. But that's why, you know, it's a little bit out of date. We want to do this again. And then you said, when do you think most people will have moved over? Well, I don't like to comment on that one, if I'm honest. But yeah, I can't comment on that one. I don't know. But again, we're not just going to kick everyone out of legacy. It's got to be when it's right for you. You know, there is benefit to doing it we'll start in like Easter time. So you have the summer term to work on it and then go live for September. But I can't really give a definitive deadline when everyone will have moved over. Is the hypercare support only for the UK clients? I actually don't know that. I'm not sure if my other colleagues in the other countries will be doing that. That would be something that you would need to talk to your account manager about. And then Dawn has asked, how quickly have others done their migration? What are we looking at in terms of timeframes? So like I mentioned, I did 3 over the summer where we started in June and they were live by September. And they were music services with lots of students as well. So like I said, the plan is the migration part is not a big deal. I don't want to just be flippant with it either. You know, like I said, we've got different concepts, different ways of thinking. You might need some time to think, well, how are we going to change our processes? Again, if you want to move to direct debit, do you currently invoice termly? Do you need to now invoice monthly because that's what you want to do? So I would say 12 weeks is a good migration. And that's what we've worked this plan on, and that I think is realistic as well. If you're able to give someone some time, like I said, it's not going to take hours and hours to create your courses and tuition fees. If someone's just, very good at that sort of thing, that's a task for them to do, and it's done. We're going to set up, I say we, you, but a lot is going to be done in the background before we go live. And that's the whole point. When we map the courses and you go live in the system, that's the last point. Everything else before is just set up. But like I said, quite a few bits actually move across from legacy. Some are brand new. So that's what's in the playbook, the new concepts, and that we will discuss with you in the training sessions as well. When will Play be fully built, all functions? I'm afraid I can't give you an answer on that one either at the moment. We have still got quite a long list of things that do need to be done, but it's more like little tweaks. We have got the big things as well, like the salary calculator still isn't built. The school landing page and school provision part isn't built, but that's all been, what's the word? Like, it's all set up, ready to go. It's just the development time that we need. What is the functionality timeline? For example, when is teacher pay ready? When is the invoicing and debt chasing ready? Is there a timeline for that? Invoicing and debt chasing is already there. It's already live and being used currently by our services. But the teacher pay, I'm hoping it will start to be developed in January. So then by Easter, it should be in there. But again, if that's one of your necessities, that's a discussion that we would have at this kickoff meeting as well. How far before go live do you start the migration progress and process and training? Well, this is it. You can do how we've got this plan is that within 6 weeks you can start and you can be live, and then you have the hypercare support for another 6 weeks. So yeah, it's as quick or as slow as you want it to be. Ideally, you'd start the training and you're in the mindset then of play. So I wouldn't want to say, oh, let's build in the background your play database in January and then you go live in September, because that's like 8 months, 9 months where you're not actually using the system and then you just need to be retrained again. So I think it's quite a good idea that we do it, that it's relevant for you guys as well. And that's again why we need to have these meetings, these kickoff meetings, to actually talk about timelines and things like that. When is going to be good for you? We're here, like I've said, we're here holding your hand. We want the best for you. We don't want this to cause stress on you. And it's just a nice thing once you get going to see, oh my God, my job's going to be so much easier because I don't have to do this anymore, or the system knows that this is what's going to happen. Like the calculation of charges and things like that. The system will do that for you. There's so many benefits to moving over to Play that I think the migration part of it is not a big deal. It is just set up, and everyone done it when they actually implemented SpeedAdmin in the first place. But we have got like the copy course button, which will save loads of time. We have copy tuition fees as well. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in that. And I know that I feels like I'm just really positive about it. It's because I do feel positive about it. So yeah. Is there a date for API for third-party integration? Croydon, not yet. I'm sorry, I don't have it is down as one of our priorities though. I actually got asked today about it. So I know that we're thinking about it at the minute, and it could be in the next quarter that it is actually there. But again, I can't give a definitive date at the moment. And then, oh, there we go. SpeedAdmin, yeah, Thomas has replied to say mid-January the API should be ready. So, well, thanks for that, Thomas. Any other questions at all? I know you think I'm just looking at the floor. I'm not. I'm looking at another screen to see if there are any questions coming through. And I'm aware that there is a delay as well from the screen to what I'm actually saying to you about. Again, if you have any questions, please get in touch with your account manager. Like I said, Thomas will be reaching out by the end of Christmas with everyone's new contracts and to have any discussions. And then we can really start the new year off with having a really good plan of who's going to start migrating for 2026. So thank you all very much, and I hope you have a great day.